My name is Dana Foster. I'm 41, I run a breakfast diner in Michigan, and last month, my 17-year-old daughter spent 9 hours cooking a birthday dinner for my mother's 70th. At 4:15 in the afternoon, my mother sent one text that erased all of it: change of plans. We're eating at a restaurant, adults only. I didn't argue. I didn't post a word in the family chat. I made one quiet move instead. By 8:40 the next morning, my mother was on my porch with a paper bag in her hand, ringing the bell like the house might not let her in. Nobody had ever made her wait at a door. Here's what she didn't know about that night. Welcome back to Lineage of Lies. This is where quiet women finally get loud. Drop a comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. In my mother Rose's world, every gathering had a seating chart, and for 25 years, I was the staff. I cooked the hams, hosted the showers, and got asked where the serving spoons were. My brother Paul brought wine and received toasts. I wasn't the black sheep or the favorite. I was the caterer. My daughter Lily was born into that machine. Lily is 17. She shows love with her hands. For Grandma's 70th, she didn't buy a card, she planned a menu. She texted relatives for weeks, collecting the one dish that made them happy. Chicken and dumplings for Aunt Janet, baked mac and cheese for the kids, and for my mother, the peach cobbler from her own grandmother that nobody had ever gotten right. Lily ran 4 test batches. She spent $340 of her own tip money. When I tried to slip her my card, she pushed it back. Gifts count more when they cost you something. She hand-lettered 23 place cards. The one for Grandma Rose had a gold border she measured with a credit card and did twice to get straight. I taped her menu to the fridge and thought, this is the best of us. I had no idea I was watching a test my mother was about to fail. 3 weeks out, I pinned my mother down in writing. Birthday dinner at our house, Saturday at 6. Lily's cooking. Yes? She texted back, fine. A week later I asked again in front of witnesses. She waved a hand, yes, of course. Then to her friend Sandra, Dana's place is cozy. Simple. In my mother's dictionary, cozy means beneath her. The day of the party, Lily was up before me, kitchen organized like a line cook. By 4 o'clock, the house smelled like 3 generations of memory. She stood in the doorway and let herself feel proud. At 4:15, my phone lit up. The text went to the whole family chat first, all 23 people, 45 seconds before my private one. That timestamp tells you everything about my mother's priorities. The group message read, change of plans. Sandra booked a private room at Antonelli's. 7 p.m. adults only. It's a lovely room. Then to me alone, you can bring the cobbler if you want. Adults only. I stood in my kitchen reading it like a lab result that couldn't be right. 6 dishes on the stove. 23 place cards on the table, one with a gold border done twice. I called her. Voicemail. I texted, Mom, Lily cooked all day. Please call me. The reply, don't make this difficult. A restaurant is more appropriate. I turned my phone face down. I didn't have to say anything, because Lily was already standing there in her new dress, holding her own phone. She'd seen it. She was one of the 23. She read the message again, set the phone down, picked up the sugar shaker, and went back to the cobbler. Without looking up, she said in a voice so level it broke my heart, it's okay, Mom. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. 17 years old, 9 hours into a gift, and her first reflex was to comfort me and call it normal. In that moment, I finally did the math. The recital missed for bridge night. The birthday moved for brunch. The swim meet nobody came to. Every time I'd knelt and translated, Grandma loves you in her own way. I thought I was building a bridge. What I was actually building was a daughter fluent in disappointment, and I'd been her teacher. I grew up with 2 tables, the mahogany one for the important people, and the card table in the den. I ate at the card table until I was 23. My mother inherited that ranking system, but knowing where the ink came from doesn't unwrite the sentence. That afternoon, I understood. I could never get Lily a better seat at Rose's table. The only move was to set a different table entirely. I called my mother one last time. I offered to bring the food to the restaurant or move the dinner to Sunday. She said no. I am not rearranging my birthday around a teenager's project. A project. I walked to the dining table. I picked up Grandma Rose's place card. On the back, in my daughter's real handwriting, it said, "Happy 70th from your sous chef." That was the name she gave herself at 12, when she announced she'd cook a whole dinner for the family one day. 5 years. I put the card back and left all 23 exactly where they were. I sat on my bed and audited myself. Every time I translated my mother's cruelty, I was teaching Lily to accept her rank. I walked downstairs, found her watching a silent video, and told her the plan. We open our doors at 6 o'clock as planned. Everyone's invited, kids first. It might be 4 people eating 6 dishes. Grandma will take it as war. Her call. She was quiet, then nodded. If it's 4 people, I'm still plating it in courses. Then, you'd really do that to Grandma? I said, not to Grandma, baby. For you. Tonight seems like a good night to learn the difference. At 5:07 I sent the family chat 2 photos, the full table, the cobbler, and a caption, "Dinner is still at 6 at our house." Everything on the table was cooked for Grandma by Lily. Everyone is welcome. Kids especially. I put the phone down and refused to count. The door was open. Who showed up would tell me who my family really was. At 5:58, the doorbell rang. Beth, her husband, all 3 kids. Tyler's crew, the 6-year-old running ahead. Aunt Janet arrived with her coat already off, ready for dishes. 14 people filled my house. The gold-bordered card sat at an empty chair all night, and I never moved it. But Lily tied her apron back on and ran her first service. The mac and cheese was mobbed. Aunt Janet fanned her face at the chicken and dumplings. Nobody at that table was furniture. Meanwhile, the other party? 9 adults in a room for 12. My mother checked her phone twice during the entree, which for her is a distress flare. Later, the family chat filled with photos of our cobbler, our kids, our place cards. No captions. Just a door standing open. The next morning at 8:40, the doorbell rang. My mother stood on the porch holding a paper bag with both hands. I didn't hurry. I poured tea, opened the door, and let her in. She told me I'd split the family. She wanted me to post a gracious message calling it all a mix-up. I declined, not angrily, like you decline a coupon for a store you've stopped shopping at. Her shoulders dropped half an inch. Then what do you want from me, Dana? Nothing with me. It's Lily you owe. She's in the backyard. Go tell your granddaughter what her cooking meant. That's the whole price. She looked at the back door like open ground, then took her paper bag and went out. Through the window, I watched her lower herself onto the concrete step beside my daughter. Out of the bag came a container of peach cobbler, the lid fogged from the fridge. Aunt Janet had left it on her porch with a note, "At least taste it." My mother pulled a fork from her own good silver, she'd come armed for a ceremony. She ate the whole thing slowly, said something I never asked about, and my daughter's shoulders finally came down from around her ears. Lily went inside and came back with the menu. My mother read every line with her finger. An empress and a line cook, on the same level. On her way out, she straightened a picture frame that was already straight. "The seasoning in the chicken and dumplings," she said, not looking at me. "She gets that from my grandmother. Nobody else ever got it right. 1 inch of ground about seasoning. But I've been fluent in my mother for 41 years. That inch was the whole war." 6 weeks later, my dining table opens on the first Sunday of every month. Lily's table, they call it now. No head seat. She places people where the conversation needs them. My mother came to the first one. Her place card just said Grandma, same ink as everyone. I watched her read it and pocket it when she thought no one was looking. She missed the next one for a club thing. The door stayed open. The cobbler still comes out at 6:15. Lily is applying to culinary school. Her essay opens with a birthday dinner for 14. Halfway through that first Lily's table, while the cousins fought over crust corners, she leaned into my shoulder and said, "I'm not used to this yet." I looked at the loud, unranked, gravy-stained table she built, and I gave her the only inheritance worth anything. "Good," I said. "Don't ever be." I spent 25 years asking for a better seat at my mother's table. The only thing I ever had to do was set my own. Because the people who love you don't need a ranking to find their chairs. If someone in your family hands out seats like prizes, maybe this is your sign to set your own table and see who shows up hungry. Tell me in the comments who you'd save a chair for. Subscribe to Lineage of Lies if this fed something in you. See you next time.